New Super Mario Bros. Is a game that brought back the classic 2D Mario games. This game was also a start to a very popular series called New Super Mario Bros. So yeah, this game is really popular and there's no surprise that there was actually a plush set and tons of other merchandise made for this game. So with that said, welcome to a look at the Popco New Super Mario Bros. Plush set. Now, before we get to the individual plushes in the set, I just want to talk about something about this plush set first off. Now, this plush set was originally released by a company called Presto in Japan. They have multiple waves of new Super Mario Bros. Plushes that I'll look at in another video. But in the year 2008, 2 years after these plushes first released, Popco released them to the United States. And since these plushes have been re-released by Popco, they have become extremely popular and sought after. So yeah, with that out of the way, let's start off with the first plush in the set, which is the Mario. Now, this isn't just any normal Mario plush, it's actually Mario in a jumping pose. I'm glad that Popco decided to make this choice. Well, technically Popco didn't make the choice, it was actually Presto. So yeah, will kind of be a confusing video because I'm going to refer to Popco and Presto. Basically, I'm just going to try to ignore the names that much. And this Mario plush overall is actually pretty good, but some details could be damaged. Such as on the face, his eyes and eyebrows are just iron-on, so they could get cracked over the years, and same thing with the emblem on his hat. His mustache is also just a piece of felt glued on, so it could fall off and get damaged, and the brim of his hat is made out of felt, so it could get bent. His buttons are also made out of an iron-on material, so they could get cracked and damaged, but besides that, every single other detail on this plush is actually pretty good and pretty accurate. And it's a pretty unique take on a Mario plush, because there isn't many Mario plushes that are in a jumping position. Now, how do you differentiate these plushes from the Presto ones? Well, the easiest way to tell if it's a Presto plush or a Popco plush is that the tags on them. Presto, of course, uses the normal Presto tag with their logo on it, and the Popco ones use as well some bigger tags that have the Popco on them. Also, the hang tags on the Presto ones are different from the ones on the Popco ones. The Popco ones has the new Super Mario Bros. Logo on a coin. So that's how you could tell if your plush is Popco or Presto. If you want this plush, look on eBay or Mercari. There's plenty of listings and you could find this plush pretty easily, and it's one of the easier plushes to find in this whole set. Now let's go on to the next plush in the set, which is the Goomba. Now overall, this Goomba is actually a pretty good plush. First off, the shape on this Goomba plush is actually pretty good, and they got the head shape pretty nice on this plush. His body and his feet are also a nice shape and it's quite accurate. His eyebrows are just felt pieces, and the rest of his face are all iron-on, so they could get cracked and damaged. But it seems that a lot of these plushes in the set that have iron-on details, they really don't get cracked. I've barely seen any images of them with damage on them. They could have used a stronger iron-on material from other Mario plushes, or these plushes could just hold up really well for some reason. Either way, it's quite rare to actually see these plushes with damage on them. Now, if you want this plush, look on eBay or Mercari, and it sells pretty frequently, and you could probably find one pretty easily. Now let's go into probably the most unique plush in this whole set, being the Balloon Boo. Now, this is actually one of 2 Balloon Boo plushes to ever be made. The only other one was made by Presto, which is this exact same plush but just released in Japan. And overall, it's a pretty interesting choice to make a plush of a character like this. But I'm glad that they did decide to make it because it makes a really unique plush. All this plush is just a normal Boo but with a different face on it. It also has embroidery on the front of it to make his cheeks look better and have more detail. And the rest of the details like his cheeks, his face and everything are just all iron-ons. I do really like the embroidery on his face though, especially the lumps where his cheeks are. That has a good amount of detail to it. And overall, this is a pretty simplistic plush, but they executed it pretty well. And once again, I barely see any damage on the iron-on, so they probably use some better material for this. And this will probably be the last Balloon Boo plush we ever get, because, well, it's a pretty obscure character, and other companies nowadays probably wouldn't think to make a Balloon Boo plush, so it's a pretty unique plush. Now, if you want this plush, look on eBay or Mercari just like the others, and it shows up somewhat frequently. It might be a little harder to find though than the others. But now let's move on to the most expensive plush in this whole set, being PD Piranha. Now, just like the Balloon Boo plush, this plush is actually really unique for being a quite obscure character. And there's barely any other PD Piranha plushes to be made, so once again, I'm glad that Popco made one. The petals around his head are made out of felt and have iron-on pieces on them, which could get damaged and bent, and you could see in some pictures that the petals are somewhat bent backwards or forwards. The teeth are also AFL. In some photos you could see them getting bent, and some even are missing every once in a while. But besides those two details, this plush doesn't really get damaged too often, and overall looks pretty good and holds up pretty well. The only really real complaint I have about this plush is that its size is very small for a PD Piranha plush. As PD Piranha is supposed to be a bigger character, so it would have been nice if Popco or Banpresto made a bigger version of it. But that's the only real complaint I have about this plush. Now this plush actually has a bootleg that's really similar to it, but there's one easy way to tell if it's a bootleg or an official. This is the bootleg, and the easiest way to tell from the bootleg from the official is the tag on it. As you can see, this bootleg uses the Super Mario set tag, which obviously isn't correct. You could also tell because this plush just looks kind of squished compared to the RPD Piranha, and also there's too many polka dots on him. So that's a really easy way to tell from the bootleg to the official. If you want this plush, look on eBay or Mercari, but be careful for the bootleg and do not buy stock images because you'll most likely just get the bootleg. Now let's move on to the final plush in the set, and the only item in the set being the Mega Mushroom. Now for being a very simplistic plush, Popco and Banpresto did a great job making this plush. The eyes on the face of the mushroom are just iron-on material, so they could get cracked, but they barely ever get cracked, and I've basically seen no pictures of them being cracked ever. And for the mushroom part itself, it is really accurate, and overall it's just a really simplistic plush, but they did a good job making it. And it makes sense that it looks good because it's a really simplistic plush that's kind of hard to mess up. But yeah, overall this is by far the most simplistic plush in this whole set, and if you want to look on eBay or Mercari, and you can find it pretty easily. So yeah, which plush in this set is your favorite? Mine's probably PD Piranha, but comment down below yours is, and yeah, have a great day.